Good afternoon, listeners. I'm here with a special guest from Divergent Donuts. Good afternoon. How are you?
Good. How are you? Good afternoon.
I'm doing great. Thanks for joining me on the Q.A.C team podcast this afternoon. Let's get started and tell our audience who you are and what you do.
My name is Ewuraesi Richetts. I am the owner of Divergent Donuts. I actually just started the business not too long ago. So it was we had our soft opening October 14th.
Very new. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey, absolutely. So go ahead and tell our audience why'd you decide to be a business owner? What drove you to this?
I've had a couple of inspirations here and there. What kind of drove me to be a business owner was mostly my family, namely my father and my sisters. So my father has always been interested in business, and he's always been interested in trying to help people and start something new and just kind of be innovative. And I kind of learned that resourceful and innovation sort of inspiration type behavior from my father. And I got some encouragement from my sister, who's actually here with us today.
That's
And
great.
she was one of the reasons why I was inspired to do this. And then, of course, I do have my family, my husband, and my children. My husband has always been my number one supporter of a lot of things that I did. So when I decided to, get started and get kickstarted, my sister gave me a call. Because typically every year, like I would ask, like, God, like, what should I do? How do I go through my year? And this year it was, just start a business, get something started. And when I started that, I had the community in mind, and I got it started.
Yeah, that's great. That's awesome. So why did you choose this industry? Let's talk a little bit about donuts and you.
Yeah. The reason I chose this industry was because when I was younger, I did a lot of baking. And baking was sort of something that I really enjoyed. Like I used to bake for my siblings, even before my little siblings were born. My grandma, my dad's mom, she used to bake with me in the kitchen, and we just listened to gospel music and things like that. Like every Sunday, she would share something, and one of the recipes she used to make was bread pudding. She used to make a lot of bread pudding, and she put raisins in there, and then she'd also make some of these things that people don't really like too much. It's like a fruit cake, and lots of people don't really like fruitcakes, but that was really big back in the day. And she used to make fruitcakes a lot, and I liked that she was baking a lot. She had me in the kitchen with her baking, and I was always around her. And then I like one of my first Christmas gifts that I remember was an easy bake. My dad bought that for me, or my parents got that for me, and then I baked for my siblings when I was younger, and then I got interested in that way. And on top of that, I also like to see people happy. So when I bake them something, when I make something, I like to see people excited for what I just made, or to kind of have like a brightness in their face, or kind of brighten their day. Like I'm trying to pick the right words here, because when I'm speaking, I have like there's other languages going through my mind because we're from Ghana, so like I have to think about what words it is. But to kind of show the like brighten people's day, make them happy, and show them, like even if you're having a bad day, I can make you something and then it'll make you happy. So that's kind of the reasons why I chose baking. There are other things that I thought about because my career path is more in finance. I'm a quality control manager for a bank, but like my true passion is in like baking and the culinary arts. So that's why I figured I would start business in that industry.
Yeah, so let's talk a little bit before we go any further. Let's talk a little bit about how that ties into what you're doing now. You got quality control, bank, and then you're doing donuts. So talk a little bit about how they all kind of go together because we had a
Yeah,
conversation about that. And I thought that was very
yeah,
interesting how we're kind of the same, we're
yeah.
doing the same.
Yeah, absolutely. So like in a sense, so quality control, right? So quality control has a lot to do with customer service and customer experience. So if you're making sure you're making a product, right? You have to make sure that the product is consistent and it's great every single time. So when you're controlling that quality, you're ensuring that the not only the customer is happy, but whatever product you're making has some consistency. So you have policies and procedures that are in place that everyone has to follow, so once you're guided through those, the end result should still be the same. If there's a deviance from that end result, then there's a problem with that control that is being put in place. So yeah, so with the customer service industry and serving customers, right? When you create something, the end result is to build that customer experience so that the customer can be happy and then they will come back again, and not necessarily come back, but they will bring more people. So once they know that they're getting the same thing over and over again, and they're getting a different product, but it's the same type of standard, then that way you can build that customer experience, and you know for a fact that the customer is always going to be happy when they're coming in. So that's something that I truly focused on when it comes to like quality control and customer service.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing, right? A couple of key words you said, consistency, right? So if your product and your service is consistent, you will have those people come back time and time again because your product is consistent, they like it, your customer service will be consistent, they like it, they're going to talk about it, they're coming back, they're bringing people with them. You're definitely going to have, more people coming just due to the fact that you are consistent and you have a good product,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So what are some of the challenges that you faced, getting this thing going and getting your shop together?
Yeah, so there were lots of challenges. Like when I first started, obviously getting the business off the ground, that's a challenge in itself. But then maintaining it, right? So you think you have an idea and you're just ready to execute it. You plan, you do all the preparations up front. You do everything that you think is going to work out. You plan, and that's part of the quality control, right? You plan what it's going to look like. You plan the happy path and then you plan the sad path, right? So you look at things both ways, but even it doesn't matter how much prepared you are, you're still not prepared. Because I was faced with a really major challenge when I first opened was um we opened, and then immediately after we were prepping for that day of events, there was a hit and run outside of our building. And so I was one of the first people to go see the person that was hit and ran over. And it was like, do I open? Do I figure out what to do? Like, how do I do this? And some of my top inspiration, or the people that kind of pushed me to go, are actually here with me, and I'm actually going to have them speak on a couple things. But I it was a really difficult task because I was thinking, should I just open today or should I wait? But then I thought, okay, my sister was saying, hey, look, we have a business to run. Things are happening. I get it. Like, this is tough. This is hard, but we came a long way. We've done all this stuff. We've done all this pre-planning. Let's execute the best way possible. So she was like, okay, we're gonna take off a couple things from the menu, and then we're gonna figure it out that day. And then we managed to figure it out. It was a very successful day, and it's been very successful since then. And we did have another challenge that kind of rolled on from there was high turnover, because in this industry a lot of people come in and then they learn something, they're not so quite comfortable with the environment because it's very fast paced, because they're very they're busy hours during the day, and then they're not so busy hours. So like the busy hours can get very overwhelming and people are trying to get orders together. And in the industry where you're kind of doing all these things really fast paced, there's an expectation that you still have to deliver. So the challenge is you have to meet the expectations of the customer, and then you have to meet the expectations of your team, and then you have to meet the expectations of the business. So you
Yeah.
have to think about all those challenges at the same time while you're working within that first week. So having a soft opening is definitely it's a challenge, but it's a challenge that is teaching us that we can be flexible. Like, even though there is, we have expectations to meet, one thing we do need to keep and hold true is that our customer service has to stay the same. But we can still work out everything in the background. Like, we'll figure out the team stuff, we'll figure all that out. But to meet the expectations of the business and the customer, we got to get that right, because it's all about how you start, and not like how in this industry anyway. It's all about how you start and how you continue, not maintain, because it's not a start to finish. There's no finish, is always going up. So it's all about how you start, maintain that start, let people understand that this is the standard that you're trying to set. Let everyone know that this is the standard that you're trying to set, and then you continue with that, and if possible, make it better. So that's how my vision is, and that's part of actually the vision of Divergent Donuts. I wanted it to be a community based type cafe where You come in, you enjoy it, you talk to your friends, you sit there for quite a while. If you want more coffee, you can get that. If you want another donut, you can, because these are all ingredients like that are they're literally when I say we purchase these ingredients every day, they are very fresh. So we have very fresh ingredients that we're using every day. So at the end of the day, we buy some more stuff, we stock it, and we keep going. So it was a challenge learning how many ingredients we need and how many ingredients to keep it fresh, to keep our standard as in we are using fresh ingredients, we are making things to order, we're keeping their customers happy. So that's something that we try to keep going and learning the quicker ways to do things. We're moving pieces around and we're learning the mode of our kitchen and how the kitchen operation should work, and that's what's keeping us like going a little faster, because now
Yeah.
we've learned how to push more Dawn Delights out. We've learned more how to push more Banana Mamas. So we're just kind of going what works out, what works. So we're just doing that. So that's a couple of the challenges. There are a few more challenges, but I think those are the ones that have been resonating with me like quite a bit.
Yeah. And those are good challenges, right? Because as time goes along, they'll work themselves out because you will figure out your business model, what you want to look like,
Exactly.
and it'll all just, it'll be smooth. Yeah. Good for you.
Exactly.
Congratulations. So you said you had a couple of people that you want to bring in and speak with you.
Yeah, a couple of people that I want to bring in. First off, I want you to meet my sister. My sister has been pivotal in this whole Divergent Donuts experience. And then I
Yeah, that's
also
great.
have Tommy, who's also one of my partners here. I actually through those challenges, I actually hired my partner there in the back there as my because he's my photographer, videographer for all those things. He handles
Great.
all those kinds of intricate details, but he is now my manager. So I hired him as a manager, so he's taking care of those things. But
That's
she's
great.
my like biggest inspiration behind this. Yeah, so her name
Yeah.
is Robina, and she's actually one of the inspirations behind the Banana Mama.
Nice.
Hi, how are you?
I'm
Nice
doing
to meet
great.
you.
It's great. It's great to welcome and meet everybody else behind this. And as when I made my visit, I really was impressed from the time I walked in to the time I left, and we had a little conversation about that. And I don't want to give too much detail here on the podcast because I want to still do my review and put up on my site. It's such a good review, and I had such a great time, and I'm looking forward to more. I really want to see what you're about and really help promote you and get your business pushing forward. I
Thank you.
really like it.
Thanks.
So, expectations for let's say next year or two. What are your expectations? What are you guys hoping to see where you are and what you're doing in a
Yeah.
year or two from now?
Yeah, for sure. So, I can talk a little bit more about my expectations, but I'm going to pass it along to these two to talk about their vision, and because I know my sister handles a lot of the events, and then of course I have Tommy who's a manager because he also has his expectations as well. So I'll wrap it up after they go ahead and speak about
Yeah,
that.
sounds like a plan.
Yeah. Hi, so
Welcome.
I'm Robin. I'm her sister. She named the Banana Mama after me. Quick, cute story. My nephew didn't know how to pronounce my name properly, so he turned Arabna into Banana, and it just stuck that way. So my
Very cool.
nickname's in the family. Um, for a couple of the events that we have planned for Divergent Donuts, which we're super excited about, would be we're having hot cocoa with Santa. So we're big holiday people. And because this is like a community family based oriented business, we really wanted to push that and continue to grow and build a relationship with our community. And so we have hot cocoa with Santa so people can bring their kids and take pictures with Santa. We have a talented photographer and videographer behind us, and this is we're partnering up with Hefe Productions, and he will be taking pictures of the kids with Santa. They're going to have hot cocoa. And they can decorate their own donuts. And then we're planning on partnering up with other small businesses where we're doing a holiday market, and so small businesses can again spread, their talents and what they do amongst the community using us. And it's really about, having this beautiful community grow. And so we're planning on doing that. I know this weekend actually we have a big we have a event going on where we've partnered up with a small business called Corinthians Treasures, and she's going to be selling holiday wreaths and football decor. And this is like pretty cool for the season. But everything that we're doing is planning on partnering up with small businesses as well, in any way that they can help us and we can help them and really grow this community.
I love it. I love it. You know, partnering with small businesses and community, it's near and dear to my heart as well. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Keep going. Let's keep going.
We definitely appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Tommy, manager, videographer, all these good things. Just piggyback on what Ewuraesi was saying earlier, it was a lot of challenges from day one. But I'm glad that we stuck to what we knew what we could do and we just followed the right way and we did it. I think
Yeah.
the main thing from being at this establishment that I've learned that we go from quality to hospitality immediately. You know, we make
Yeah.
sure the sandwiches, donuts, are our structure, everything is amazing. You know, once you come in, you're family. That's how I see it. You know, when they talk to me, I was like, I thought I was talking to my family, and guess what?
Yeah.
They are my family. So
Yeah, I felt that when I walked in, absolutely
they,
felt that. The minute I walked in, I said, this place is good.
energy, the aura, all that stuff. So
Yeah.
the food, the quality food as well. So it's amazing atmosphere to be around. It's amazing just to be around these people, this family, and seeing the
Yeah.
people come in. Once they come in, they leave with smiles.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. I love that I could be management of this company, this establishment for that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I can't wait to meet you. I want to bounce some ideas off you from videography wise. You know, it's myself and my daughter is helping me on my first episode, which I don't know if I shared the link with you yet. I'm not sure. I don't know if you saw my video yet, but I just
Yes.
released my episode 1 of Chasing the Stars,
Oh
which
yeah, you showed that to me that day. It was really awesome. Yeah.
but the show, I released the show yesterday. I have to send you the link. It's
Wonderful.
complete.
That's
Yes, I'll share
awesome.
it with you.
Congratulations. And
Congratulations.
yes, we can
Thank
definitely
you.
pick, piggyback off of each other, whatnot. We're family
Yeah,
now. So guess what? We always going to
appreciate it. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I definitely, because it took me 2 months to do this. I was a little nervous to release it, as we talked about. I'm still a little nervous. I'm getting really good feedback on it. It's being watched pretty good for the first day of release. I'm happy with the views that I'm getting so far. So yeah, I can't wait to really hear your thoughts.
You
So
did
I'll
well.
email it to you when I'm finished.
First of all, you did the first step, doing it, and then the second step of actually proceeding doing it. Like we're on one of the podcasts with you right now, so you're doing it. You're doing a great job, and we appreciate you bringing us on this podcast.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. It's my pleasure to definitely, I love interviewing small businesses. I love promoting. And obviously you saw my website, you see what I'm about. I love what I do, you know.
That's
So,
awesome.
all right. So let's go ahead and finish up here. And our last thoughts on, so where do you guys see yourselves in a year or two from now?
Yeah, so a year or two from now, I do see myself. I can't say that I want to. I like to set my expectations with a lot of things. I manage my expectations very well. So I tend to be pessimistically optimistic. So depending on what the data looks like, then I can execute. So I'm thinking that I would like to. I know I'd like to expand. I'd like to extend the operating hours, so it's not just a certain amount of time. So we can have people that come in the evenings that maybe get off work and still would like to purchase something, purchase a donut, maybe a sweet treat at the end of the night, and then drive their way home. Because of where we're located, it's a lot easier to drive in and drive out with a lot of desserts and sweet treats. So we would like to expand in that area. Also with partnering up with different businesses, we'd like to partner up as well because we're going to be hosting a lot of events and we'd like to get out there for events and have a lot of people use our space because I tend to view the space as a third place where you can just kind of go there and hang out and just use that place as an area where you can just kind of get things done. So if you need a space to kind of just escape, have some coffee and have some sweet treats to just kind of sit there and look at the outside because the view from where we are is actually not it's pretty good too because you can see the outside. But I would like to get to that point where we can expand and look at tighten more knots and bolts here and there and like I said, hire more people and maybe even get an auxiliary kitchen to work in more orders and have more orders be done because we like to work things fresh. And that way I'll be able to employ more people because I would like to employ more people and help people out. And also help out the community. And another mention I'd like to, or another person I'd like to mention to here, if she's not here, is Amanda. She's one of my leads over at the cafe. She's really good at what she does. She really enjoys her job, and she's our lead barista. And a lot of the comments and a lot of the reviews that we got are stellar when it comes to the coffee that she produces, and she loves to connect with her customers. So I think I'd like to have an honorable mention for her. And I think we just have lots of events. Just look forward to lots of events, I would say.
Yeah, I think that's cool that you can kind of collaborate with donuts, sandwiches, coffee, and events. So it's good that you have all these different things that come together, and then you put great customer service on top of a great product. You have a recipe for wonderful success.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, like I said, I'm going to put the review up. It was rather well. I was impressed from the time I walked in. I can't say it enough. I was
Thank
impressed
you.
from the time I walked in to the time I left, and I didn't want to leave. It was so, that my experience was so good that I want to hang out, and just enjoy myself. But
And that's
but
that's
work,
that's the goal, right? That's our goal. That's what we do. That's what we
see,
want to do. We
yeah,
want to hang out
but
with you.
work
Yeah,
calls, and I had to leave, so I had to keep moving. It's
absolutely. Yeah.
Well, I really appreciate you guys coming on and telling your story and giving us some more background of some things that I didn't know that we could share with our audience. I really appreciate that. And I can't wait to meet you guys. I'll come in and we'll sit down. We'll have a nice conversation over some donuts and maybe decaf coffee because I can't have caffeine coffees.
Yeah, absolutely. We actually have a really good, this is something that people don't know that we have. We have a really good decaf espresso.
Oh,
They don't really,
nice.
yeah, the taste is really good. It tastes similarly to an espresso. If you like that dark, smooth coffee espresso flavor, we have that in decaf. Lots of people
Wow.
don't know that. Our coffee is
Sounds
actually
amazing.
imported. Yes. So
Yeah.
it's really
And
good.
I'm sorry, you got cut off. You said your coffee is imported from where?
Italy. It's from
Oh,
Italy. Yeah.
wow. That's impressive.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's Italian coffee. Yeah, so
Great.
it's pretty good. But I also wanted to say that thank you so much for bringing us on this podcast. It really means a lot, and I appreciate you stopping by and having the time to speak with me. I think that's something that I truly value with a lot of customers that come in because I treated you just like how I would treat any other customer, right? And I didn't
Yeah.
even know who you were. I just spoke to you because that's just how we speak to everyone, and that is
Yeah.
something that we truly want to push forward. And I'm glad that you were able to experience Divergent Donuts in the way that I envisioned it to be. So I really appreciate that. Another thing that I wanted to offer to for all the listeners and all the viewers is a 10% off discount if they use Q.A.C. team when they come into Divergent Donuts after they watch. Just let me know that you watched the podcast, and then we can give them a 10% off discount with a minimum $10 purchase.
Really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
No
Appreciate that.
problem.
Awesome. Well, thanks for coming on again. It's been my pleasure to interview you, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your evening. We'll chat soon.
All right. See you later.
Have a good one.
Have a good one.
Have a good one.
Take
Thank
care.
you.
Very nice meeting you guys. Take
All
care.
right. All right. Bye.
Bye.
You've been listening to the Q.A.C. Team podcast with your host, Charles Luttrell. Connect with us on the web at QACteam.com, TikTok at Q.A.C. Team, Facebook and Instagram at QAC.team. Thanks for your support.